Back in the 80s, when I came here, this wasn't like this. That park was horrible. They used to call it the Needle Park or the Drunk Park. But when the years passed, people took knowledge and they took upon themselves that something needed to change to get these youth out of the street. That's why this became what it is.
Norris Square Neighborhood Project was founded in 1973 by a fifth grade teacher, Natalie Kempner, and a university professor, Helen Loeb. And the focus was getting kids outside, a lot of camping trips and field trips so that they could spend time in nature. It was a great opportunity for the inner city kids that lived in the neighborhood.
Youth come here because they feel like they have a family here. They feel like they're being heard. They feel like they're being protected.
People were just leaving. They were abandoning their homes because things by the early 80s then were really tough. Women of the neighborhood, who were primarily Puerto Rican, Latinas, got together. They called themselves Grupo Motivos, and they were led by Iris Brown and Tomasita Romero. And they fought and fought to clear out the vacant lots and create gardens. By 1985, they started Las Parcelas, which took 8 years to build. Several empty lots that they combined into one big garden.
The gardens, I think, are critical for our community. The young people, many of them don't even know what it's like to be around parks and trees. Iris Brown really brought the culture into the gardens. What Iris did with the gardens was to bring in the various heritage of Puerto Rico, the European, the Taíno, indigenous, and African. And so different gardens reflect different parts of Puerto Rico.
My name is Adriana Gonzalez. My family from Puerto Rico. I'm from North Philly.
Do you know the town?
Oh no.
That's going to be your homework.
In 2006, Iris Brown, who had been involved with the gardens since the 80s, decided that she wanted to create an African village to continue to transfer to the kids of the neighborhood the importance of the African descendants and heritage. And so there's the storytelling hut and 3 small African huts that are based on knowledge that she accumulated primarily about West Africa.
Our history, it is oral. It's not written anywhere. So when I go to Puerto Rico, this is what I do. I have a group of friends and they take me to meet these very old people that they know the history and they know about the food and the dance. And then I will come here and I will share with the staff of Norris Square and with the children and their families. We will learn together who we are.
Bit by bit, what they did was fight the drugs, create a place of beauty, transmit cultural education to the students, and also produce healthy food, because for some of the residents, this was the first time that they actually had access to low-cost fresh produce.
So this is my little garden called a parcel for Las Parcelas. And I have rhubarb and mint for tea and strawberries. So some of those things my Puerto Rican friends and neighbors have never seen before. And then they're introducing me to gandules and other things that I wasn't used to. That's a nice cultural exchange. And then we have a chicken coop. So I am a city chicken farmer. We feed them, give them water. We get to collect the eggs on the day that we have chicken duty.
Iris Brown helped design the Casita de la Abuela, which is a little house that we have in Las Parcelas full of furniture and decorations from Puerto Rico.
And then we have parties in here, dances, concerts. So there's things that we share with each other. It's a wonderful experience.
The gardens were created by the women of Grupo Motivos in collaboration with the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, and when they began there were 12 gardens. So for example, the Batey focused on the Taíno culture, which is an indigenous culture from the Caribbean and also other parts of Latin America. It is used primarily for our youth to grow the food and harvest it and sell it at farm stand. Currently we have 3 after-school programs. The largest one is the arts program with some gardening involved in it. We have 30 students who are enrolled. We then have a program called Raíces, focused on garden apprentices, and they learn more intensively about the gardens with our urban garden manager. They learn to give tours to the public, and they're more involved in the gardens.
The space here is called the Open Kitchen Sculpture Garden, and I started this project 5 years ago, and the idea was really to revitalize a whole movement of the gardens that were here a long time ago. And partnering up with Norris Square Neighborhood Project, who owns the land, what I'm trying to do right now is work on building a wood shop and start training youth carpentry skills. The artistic part is to create a space that's very beautiful, made out of recycled material, just to show that it is possible to do a lot with very little, but the focus is really gathering people and bringing people together.
I joined Norris Square Neighborhood Project as Executive Director in April of 2019, and my vision is to bring the gardens back to what they used to look like. It takes a lot of work and it's going to take a lot of money, and the youth have been very curious and motivated to fix up the gardens. So this is the first step towards getting more visibility to the gardens, and so that people who worked with them before can feel pride in what they look like. Everyone is welcome in the gardens, and we want to preserve the intergenerational aspect of it.